A car that didn't feel right and low-placed finishes. Charles Leclerc is unhappy with his inconsistent performance of the Ferrari SF-23. The Ferrari driver highlighted the area where the team struggles the most compared to Red Bull. Leclerc admitted that while Ferrari has demonstrated single-lap solid pace with the SF-23, their biggest weakness is race pace, which is primarily due to how the car utilizes its tyres. Let's discuss this. After crashing in qualifying, Charles Leclerc started 7th in Miami. The race was not interrupted for a single second by a safety car, reducing everything to pure speed and strategy. That proved ineffective for the Monegasque, as he finished 7th after 57 laps, 53 seconds behind race winner Max Verstappen. Despite a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane, teammate Carlos Sainz finished 5th. After the race, Leclerc stated that predicting how the SF-23 would perform was difficult, not only during a stint, but also on a lap. "I was just talking to Carlos about it, and we just lack consistency in the car," Leclerc said, when asked about his difficult afternoon in Miami by motorsport.com. "Not just from one corner to the next, but within the same corner. I can have a lot of oversteer and then a loss of understeers again." Leclerc has a reason for this. "Our car is very affected by the wind, and we're having a lot more trouble with that now, so we'll have to work on that. Aside from that, for some reason, I won't have this for the rest of the weekend, so we'll have the car, but I had a lot of bottoming, especially at high speeds, which I can't fully explain because I didn't have it yesterday, so we'll investigate that in the data." It made no difference whether he rode on the medium or hard tyre. It was the same after the graining was removed. The hard tyres performed slightly better, but we still lacked pace and consistency. I believed it's been the same since the start of the season because we go from one compound to another and we never know what will happen on a new compound, so it's very difficult for a driver to build confidence and adapt your driving style because you're going from one compound to another and the car is in a completely different window. It's even more frustrating for Ferrari that Sainz's speed in the Australian Grand Prix was absent in Miami due to a different approach. "I think it has to do with consistency," Leclerc says. "We sometimes feel we've taken a step forward and then the conditions change and we're completely outside the window with the tyres. We need to work on that." Ferrari team boss Frederic Vasseur admits that it was a difficult afternoon for the Maranello crew. "It was generally a difficult weekend and race," the Frenchman recalls. He claims that the speed on Saturday was adequate, but we just couldn't do it. Today was the same. Carlos's first stint went well. He lost several seconds in the first third of the race and 25 seconds in the last 2/3. We were far too inconsistent from one lap to the next. We need to figure out why. For Charles, it was exactly the opposite, Vasseur adds. "He was in good form with hards in some parts of the second stint because he struggled a lot more in the first part of the race." The Ferrari team boss admits that the inconsistency mentioned by Leclerc is the most serious issue with the SF-23. "We must pay close attention to that because it's critical for us, and where to take the next step. We did better on the hards with Charles and on the mediums with Carlos. We're a little inconsistent even with the same tyres from lap to lap." Although Ferrari updated the SF-23 in Azerbaijan, Leclerc admitted that the car is still not the same level as Red Bull's RB19. He remains optimistic, however, and believes Ferrari can close the gap and compete with the reigning world champions. Leclerc stated that they are aware of the areas that require improvement and are fully committed to moving forward as soon as possible. While the updates are unlikely to change the race for victory against Red Bull, they are expected to bring Ferrari closer to their rivals. According to Charles Leclerc, one of the most serious issues with the Ferrari SF-23 car is its race pace and tyre usage. While the car has shown promising single lap times, it has struggled to stay competitive over longer distances. Leclerc stated that the car's performance suffers as the tyres degrade, causing him to lose positions during races. This was evident in the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, where Leclerc started strong but struggled later in the race, falling behind other drivers. Leclerc also mentioned that the team is having difficulty matching Red Bull's tyre management capabilities. He mentioned that Red Bull tyres can be pushed without degrading or overheating, which is a challenge for Ferrari. Leclerc stressed the importance of Ferrari finding a solution to avoid tyre overheating and improve race pace. He admitted that Red Bull did something right in terms of tyre management, giving them an advantage in races. Ferrari has been working on updates for the SF-23 car in order to address its flaws. While these updates have shown some progress, Leclerc admitted that the car still needs to be put up to par with the Red Bull RB19. He remains optimistic, however, that Ferrari will close the gap and become more competitive against the reigning world champions. Since the championship is a long season, Leclerc emphasized the importance of finding more speed and quickly improving. While the Miami Grand Prix updates are unlikely to be game changers, they are expected to bring Ferrari closer to Red Bull's performance level. The Monegasque eventually claimed his first podium finish of the 2023 Formula 1 Championship, holding off a late challenge from Fernando Alonso, setting the quickest lap of the race in the final stages, before Mercedes driver George Russell pitted on the race's penultimate lap and easily secured the bonus points with the soft tyres. When asked about his unexpected acceleration, the Monegasque driver explained that he needed to conserve his Pirelli tyres because they were prone to high degradation, which has been a major issue for Ferrari in this part of the F1 season. Well, we have to with our car, otherwise we kill the tyres, and then we cannot get them back, and then this has a big influence on our performance, Charles Leclerc said at the end of the 2023 Formula 1 Azerbaijan Grand Prix in a press conference when asked about how the tyres performed on his SF-23 single-seater in Baku. So I believe we executed flawless management today, but we're just not fast enough. We can change whether we lack at the beginning or end of the stint, but we simply don't have enough performance right now. In the end, it was the same car in the Sprint and Grand Prix. I handled it differently, but the outcome was the same. We have optimized every aspect. After a weekend like this, we should be pleased that we made the most of each session. I don't think any of those sessions could have gone any better, so that's a plus, but there's still a lot of work to be done regarding race pace. Scuderia Ferrari has been competing for second place with Mercedes and Aston Martin, while Red Bull has been dominating the field, and this is unlikely to change in the coming rounds. Mercedes performed better in the previous race, which was held in Australia. However, in the most recent race, the Maranello team emerged as the strongest challenger, with the SF-23 car making steady progress. Despite this, Charles Leclerc believed that his team's race pace was inferior to Fernando Alonso's because he was able to gain a 3-second lead over him in the final laps. We got closer, maybe a little bit closer, but we're still very far behind in race pace, and I believe we're also behind Aston Martin. We really need to work on that for now because we did 2 great laps in qualifying by taking a few more risks, which helped us stay in front. But there isn't much we can do over 51 laps in the race. Charles Leclerc of Scuderia Ferrari Monegasque finished the 4th round of the 2023 Formula 1 Championship. In conclusion, Charles Leclerc has pointed out that Ferrari's biggest challenge with the SF-23 lies in race pace, particularly in managing tyre degradation and overheating. The team is working hard to address these issues and improve the car's performance compared to Red Bull. While progress so far is promising, Ferrari acknowledges that there's still work to be done to close the gap and be competitive at the highest level of Formula 1. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for more Formula 1 updates. Until next time, happy racing!